licensed marriage and family therapist.
Hey, everybody.
She is the owner of Mental Breakthrough and Built for Mental Wellness. Thank you for coming, Sandy.
Thank you for having me, Michelle.
All right, so if you guys have been following me, you know that we have been going through schemas. And so today, Zandy and I are going to demonstrate the subjugation and social isolation schema. So the first activity we are going to demonstrate is called the Rule Maker's House. This is going to demonstrate subjugation schema. So what is going to happen in this game? Zandy is going to pull from some cards that are going to give her commands about how to draw her house. So it's going to demonstrate subjugation because when we are in subjugation schema, we are following other people's rules, right? We are people pleasing. And so we're going to allow Zandy to do this, and she's going to tell us about her experience at the end.
All right. Okay. So my first instruction says I need to draw a photo of a house.
Okay.
And
get right your markers over here.
All right, got markers. Okay. All right. Let's see.
All right. And so your next instruction.
Okay. My next instruction says I need to use the color yellow to draw the roof. Uh-oh.
All right, so what this means is she drew it wrong, so she's gonna have to draw it again.
The yellow don't count as the backdrop of the paper, huh?
Okay, wait.
All right, so I have to cross this one out and do it again.
Yep, you gotta cross it out and do it again.
Okay. Oh yeah, I was finding the one that I wanted. Okay, so this is yellow, which again is the same color as the paper, guys, but you know, okay. Whatever the rule makers say.
The rule maker's giving it bit by bit.
Because I'm coloring it in, so it's yellow.
What does the next one say?
It says draw with your hand that is not dominant.
Alright, so that means you have to finish it. At least you don't have to mark it out this time. You have to finish it with your hand that is not your dominant.
Such a blessing. At least you ain't got to. I said to finish it with my non-dominant hand. Okay. I need to cut my grass.
Crossover.
Yeah.
Crossover and follow on the rule maker book, because we want to see what's on the next one.
Alright, there's a tree too, y'all. Okay.
Alright, so the next card says, close your eyes and continue to draw with your eyes closed.
I'm drawing with my eyes closed.
Mm-hmm.
But it's already a masterpiece. Okay. Let me see. Okay. I'm closing my eyes. I drew a flower, guys.
Okay.
Ooh, that's something.
This one says, do not include windows on your house. So guess what that means? Now we gotta start over with the house. After drawing a masterpiece.
This thing come with the eraser? Okay, alright, here we go. Can I leave the sun? Keep a little sunshine?
Yeah, you can keep the sun not the house.
He does the flower, but we're gonna mark that out too, because that one's a little questionable. Okay. So now I have to, can I just go back to this house?
That's not it. You probably ain't gonna wanna do that after the next.
Alright, so we got the house, I got my door with my handle, I got a little grass, tree, and this little flower, because why not? And then, where's this yellow marker? Because you ain't about to get me. Alright? Alright. So, okay. We got this yellow roof. We're gonna stand the roof a little out. We added on, since we had to add, since we had to start over, we always gotta add a little bit of something. Because now I just added to my house so that I can have a bigger house, y'all.
Oh.
What?
Do not include a door on your house.
Not any kind of door? Okay, so if I can't have a door, I can't get out without a door and a window. Okay, so, okay.
The rule maker says you gotta build a new house.
I gotta build a new house?
No windows or doors.
Okay, we gonna take that away. All right. I got this. Rule maker is a little bit specific here.
Somebody else making the rules for your life don't feel so good.
They be trying. They try you, I tell you. I'm still gonna make the house. We just need a little more extra lumber. I ain't studying them.
She is trying to really please this rule maker.
Alright, we got this. You want a yellow roof because it's clearly, it's a man. He wanted all this right here. Nah, I probably one of y'all ain't in the sideline, Alright, so then, let's see, what we supposed to have? I can't plant a tree anymore.
Yep, and no doors, no windows.
Okay. You want a tiny house? Who gonna live in it?
Make your house very tiny. If it is not tiny, start again. Now the rule maker just being rude. Like, you didn't have to say start again.
It's like those on social media, I've been seeing the videos where they have the little tiny houses and they got little tiny plates, and I don't know who this room maker is. Okay.
It's not leaving you much space.
Well, they need it tiny, so.
Oh, well, that would make sense since you can't have windows.
Because they just want a box, so there you go. You want to live in a box all your life.
All right, now you have to draw purple grass underneath your house.
Purple grass. Purple grass. Purple grass. Let's see. Okay. I'm glad I put my grass back. I've been mad at y'all.
Alright, so now we have a tiny house, no windows, no doors, and purple grass.
Hence, a box.
Alright, so the rule maker says, now you can draw the house on the other side of the paper exactly the way you want.
Okay.
This is called the independence house. I'm going to give you some room.
Okay, so independent house. Here we go. We're gonna, I want a big house, in sense. I don't know what's going on with this rule maker. I still want my roof to be black because why would I want it to be yellow? I want it huge.
It's looking good too.
Yeah, we're gonna put this right here. We got some extra rooms. I got a chicken coop out in the back, y'all.
Okay.
Cause eggs be getting expensive around here. I got a giant flower because, why not? My house.
Alright, you make your own rules, you live in your life the way that you want.
Give y'all a little grass. Not too much around here. It's my house, so the sun is clearly shining. We're gonna put this right around here. And the paper yellow, so the sun is already yellow. Feel me? I don't want to be trapped in my house. I need a door. I want 2 windows because this is my reading nook over here.
Let some of that sunlight in.
Yeah. Okay, okay. And then 1 more, because why not? Got an attic window.
Your house looks so much better.
I just got new roofing, so these are my solar panels now. Because I want a modern house. Then we got, you know.
All right. Zandy's independent house. She made her own rules. She built her house the way that she wanted.
My house, my rules, my thing, my time.
So tell me about your emotions that came up when you were designing the rule maker's house and you had to design it exactly the way the rule maker said.
Let's see. You know, at the end of this, because the rule maker wasn't sure what they wanted, right? They changed their mind a lot, which meant that I had to pivot a lot. And you know, I'm flexible. I can pivot. The outcome to have this little tiny house ain't my house. I don't want to live in this because, again, not a house, it's a box. And it's probably, you know, it's what the rule maker want to live in. So I can't judge what the rule maker wants to live in. But going through it, it's just, I had to mark out a few times for sure.
What was it like when you started and you were building your house or designing your house, and then you had to make so many changes to please the rule maker?
You know, what was it like for me? It was just another day in this thing called life. Unfortunately, you know, most of the time, you get an area where you get to be able to have your space that's yours and yours alone to be able to hold authority to do what you want with it, right? But the majority of places, you always answering to somebody else, and so you place their rules, and they make them.
Zandy has a very nice perspective of this, but I wasn't even the one drawing.
I know.
And I was frustrated. Because every time she started to draw and started to be creative, really, here she got really creative, and then the rule maker was like, nope, start again. And then slowly fed the rules to her.
Very true, very true. You know, I'm an outlier. I have to tell everybody, I'm an outlier. Mm-hmm. Like, I can be seriously patient. And I think the only thing that might would have got me, that would have messed me up a little bit with this one, where my brain just couldn't compute and I would have got probably a little frustrated for real, is if for me it's the rule maker's house. But if the rule maker said, you need to make your house the way I told you to.
That's a good point. So you do not take it as, okay, I'm gonna draw my house the way the rule maker says. So if this says Zandy's house and the rule maker was telling you how to draw,
then I gotta go live over there in that box. And I can't be my big, beautiful personality self, and I gotta play by your rules, but it's my house. I did something for you that you now say is mine. We got a problem.
Okay, so we got a problem. And so that's what subjugation schema is. And so Zandy did not personalize it at all. She was like, this your house, this ain't mine.
Right, like.
So she wasn't actually in the subjugation schema. She was like, okay, you want it, I'm gonna give it to you because it's yours.
Right, because in my head, you know, if I was the contractor of the rule maker's house, then I'm getting paid for every time that they telling me to go redo something in the image that they want. But what if I had, if I had to pay them for something, the image that they want, but it's really supposed to belong to me?
So at the end of this, once they gave you all the rules and they said, Zandy go live in that house that you designed, what would be your feelings?
Whose?
Your you had to live in that house.
And my first thing to me, who living where? My big personality in that thing. I don't have no closets because I ain't got no window, no doors, so nobody could bring any more wood in, like in my head. Like it would have to finish everything ahead of time. What can fit? Can't even eat anything. You always gotta leave the house to eat because nothing can fit in there. Yeah, no, that would have been a no-go. I probably would have been, you know, who is it? The name is on the tip of my tongue. Who's the girl? With the whistle. Something with it. Edine. The book. I mean, it's gonna come to me.
Is she a musician?
The movie. I can't remember the name of the movie. Mockingjay. One of them.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. I haven't seen the movie, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'd be rebelling like her at this point.
Okay. So you would be counterattacking. That's about that coping skill. Subjugation. You would be counterattacking. You'd be fighting back aggressively to the subjugation schema.
Connivingly. I'd be a little cunning behind it too. But yeah, so you're not gonna push me down into this.
So ultimately, like when people dwell into the subjugation schema, you are living your life by somebody else's rules or by somebody else's design. And you either want to fight back to get out of that, you either surrender to it and just pack up your little bags and live in that tiny, uncomfortable house, or try to avoid just interacting with people at all so that they won't make you live life by their design. So then we move on to Independence House. There were no instructions other than draw the house the way you want. How did you feel about drawing Independence House?
See, I enjoy Independence House because, I put it in the way that I thought that I would like it. In my head, it was Independence House, but it became my house in my head.
Yep. And you were free, like, even just watching you, when you were doing this, you were like, I ain't gonna get too much. I ain't gonna get too much because I don't know when the rules are changing again. I'm not gonna get too much. Like, you didn't even get no trees or no grass. And you're like, nope. I'm gonna have to. It was like a little bit of hesitation there.
Yeah, because by the time we started doing a lot of this was, it was already a less than mentality. It was like taking away even with each instruction. Like if I started with something, it was like take it away. So,
And you said something too that was really symbolic. You were like, it's not enough space. It's not enough room. And so that was really symbolic because when you are living your own life, when you're dwelling in subjugation, there is not enough space to be who you are. There is not enough room for your own wants and desires because other people's wants and desires are crowding up your space in your life. So that was very symbolic, and that is what I wanted you to feel. That this is frustrating. Like it's not enough space to do what I want to do.
Yeah, it was not enough space for me to be authentic, for sure.
And this, I see that you do your house very big and lovely and confident. You're like, I can do it the way I want. This is my freedom. Look, I'm gonna draw my flower big. I'm gonna take up all the space.
Yeah.
And that's what you're supposed to do in life. Take up space in your own life. It's your life. Take up space.
Absolutely. I agree with you with that.
So that is subjugation schema. And we are moving on. Oh, let me show you Zandy's design up close and personal so you guys can visually see the difference. So this is subjugation side where she had to constantly mark through and had less and less space. And this is when she healed that schema and moved into Independence House where she could do things the way that she wanted. All right. So now we're moving to the activity that I am going to demonstrate. And it's called the belonging test. So this is going to demonstrate social isolation. And social isolation is just the way it sounds when you feel like you are a loner, you don't fit in, that you are different in some way. This is social isolation schema. All right, so the rules to this, I am supposed to pick a category of my life, whether it is church, whether it is work, whether it is social relationships. I am supposed to think about a category and address ways that I belong in that category and ways that I am different. All right, so I chose this. Hopefully I don't get emotional. I'm gonna choose a topic that doesn't make me emotional. Which category am I gonna choose? Okay, I'm gonna choose work. Work will not make me emotional at all. All right, I'm gonna start with work first. So ways that I belong at work, I am a therapist. And ways that I feel like I belong, I am trained. I have clinical skills. I have experience. 14 years of experience is telling how old I am. Ways that I am different. And so just in the past year or so, I'm different because my processing is slower. So for those of you who know me, you know my personal story that about 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with epilepsy. I have had multiple seizures on my brain. Sometimes I've had like some back to back to back, and it has impacted the way that I process information. Like I just had to check in with Annie to make sure that I was spelling processing correctly. And that's different for me because I have always been, or have always excelled in writing and reading and spelling. But sometimes my processing is slower, I move a little slower, and it had impacted my work life. I had to get accommodations at work because of that. And that's one of the ways that I am different. I am also different at work because at one of my jobs, I am a minority. I'm a female and I'm African American. And so that's a way that I am different. I'm also different, which I don't really know this is just an assumption, but I'm also different because I've had my own trauma. I don't really know if other therapists have had their own trauma. I don't get talk to them on that level, but I feel different because I've had my own trauma. But I also feel like that gives me an edge because I can really relate to the people sitting on the other side. So different is not always a bad thing. Different can be a positive thing. And I think that the people that I work with feel that because they can, pick up on my empathy and how much I care about them and how much I am invested in helping them heal. Right. So I started out with the easy one. All right. So I'm going to start with peer group. My peer group, I would say, like I'm just going based off of age. So 30 plus, because I don't even know my exact age. So I would say 30 plus is my peer group. Ways that I belong, I work, earn my own money. age too. How else do I fit in?
Into the 30+ club.
I have a group of friends that I hang out with. Support system. Manage my household. I binge watch TV.
I would have never guessed it.
Let's see. Ways that I am different. Or ways that I feel different, because I don't necessarily know all of this. So I'm gonna be transparent, disclaimer. I'm gonna be transparent because I feel like there is no healing in being fake, and that somebody would hear this story and they would say, okay, I'm not alone. Disclaimer, okay. Single. Oh, that should be on the second one. No kids. Which most women my age, I would think, desire to build their own family. So I don't have that. I'm single, no kids. Live alone. And they're gonna get the alarm system what I got hidden. Don't roll up on me. I'm a therapist, but I ain't crazy. Alright, single, no kids, live alone. What other ways am I different? I'm an INFJ personality type. And I don't think that that's a bad thing, but it is a way that I am different. I learned that in graduate school, because I was like, why do I always feel like the weird kid? Like, I don't connect with people. Like, other people are more social, and I always feel like I'm just the outlier, like something ain't right. But I always felt different is because when I started to read about temperaments, the INFJs make up 1 to 2% of the population. So there are not many of us. One of my good friends is also an INFJ. We met in undergrad. We were the last 2 people to complete our math test. And she just turned around, she was like, you're still here too? And I was like, yes. And so we ended up getting our masters together, becoming best friends, still best friends today. But our grad school professor, when she found out, because she's the one that gave us this test, when she found out that we both had the same personality type and we were roommates, she asked the question, who helps who? Because she knew about INFJ and how we operate. She was like, who helps who? And I was like, I guess we help each other. But I always felt, growing up, like the outlier, felt different. And when you're, an adolescent, feeling different is not, the best thing. But I learned to embrace that I'm an introvert, I have a lot of emotions, and I'm very intuitive, and feel things that other people do not feel, and I feel them passionately, so INFJ, that makes me different. Let's see. I kind of have a quirky personality. And y'all can say that for what it is. I know there are other ways that I'm different, but I can't think of it.
You did good. This is hard.
It's easier to identify ways that you are different when you're in emotional mind, because now I'm just like embracing all of this. But when I'm home and in emotional mind, I'm like, I'm different. I don't have this. I don't have that. Let's see. What's another area I can do? I did peer group. It's another category.
Let's see.
Ways that I belong in church. I grew up in church. Strong spiritual background. Oh, that's another way I'm different.
Just like,
Because it's really hard for me, like, growing up, I would turn my paper to the side, and people were like, well, how do you write sideways? There we go, ways I'm different. Left-handed. Just help me identify
yeah,
it.
I was like, wait, something's different.
And I can't turn this paper, so my handwriting is like,
So I was like, what am I noticing?
I grew up in
You're
church.
welcome.
Thank you. Believe in God. Connection with God. Those are ways that I belong. Ways that I am different. I don't say ways that I'm different in my new church. And I'm new.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Also, I am a minority in my new church. Well, please don't let me have a little breakdown now. Because just when I go to the church, everybody is coupled up. I don't know, like it's more married people in this church. Then like you see them coupled up, and so this stands out to me. I think this is my comfort zone because I don't feel, thank you Lord, I don't feel that different in church. So I have more ways that I belong in church than ways that I feel that I'm different, and it was harder for me to. I was like really grasping at straws at ways that I'm different because I really feel like I belong. So even the fact that I'm new, even the fact that I'm a minority, and even the fact that I am single, I still feel like I have a sense of belonging there. And so sometimes, you know, you gotta figure out where we belong. So let's see, work. I don't know why I put that in the work. Work, there are 3 ways I feel like I belong, 3 ways I feel like I'm different.
Peer group.
There are 5 ways I feel like I belong. And
Probably left-handed.
yeah, 6 ways I feel like I'm different.
Honestly, I would add even some of your health things. Because you was put in, I think it was up
Oh
there.
yeah, ways I'm different. Oh yeah, can't drive right now, but give me 120 days.
That goes by in a blink of an eye.
Can't drive. And I'm putting at the moment.
Yeah, right now. All about perspective.
And I could really elaborate on that. I've been watching like epilepsy TikToks and hearing other people's stories and actually learning a lot of things that I've been doing that I shouldn't be doing, like drinking caffeine. I shouldn't be doing it. But it really changes your life, and it really like amplifies ways that I'm different. Like, but it's also been a learning process for me because I'm the type of person that will, I get an idea, I will go, not check in with myself, just keep pushing, but I can't do that with epilepsy because it will trigger a seizure. And so now moments when I look for the signs, like when I feel tired, when I feel lightheaded, I will stop and I will just like table it, like, nope, I'll get to it tomorrow, I'm gonna lay down. Like even in between my sessions, I'll say, nope, I'm gonna go lay down for a minute, and I'll try to schedule my sessions so that I get small breaks, which is never anything that I did before. It was just like, go, productivity.
Yeah.
But now I have learned to kind of listen to myself a lot more and look for signs that something is not right. And so I guess that could be, you know, a good way that I'm different because I'm becoming more attentive with myself.
Intentional.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. I will always want to be in the category of being intentional, because that is something that's different.
It's definitely different. And I intentionally left this off because I don't want to get too deep into my business, but there is a path that I'm on that I made a vow to God that I would be on this path until I became married. And it definitely does make me feel different. Y'all read it between the lines, y'all adults. It definitely makes me feel different, this path that I have chosen. Because sometimes when you walk a path with God, there's a lot of sacrifice.
Yeah.
And it does not always feel good when you are sacrificing those things and you are feeling different. And so this is my mama moment where I'm teaching to young girls and girls like me that yes, sometimes it is lonely when you follow God, when you make a decision, when you have a healthy boundary in areas of your life, but when you do not have healthy boundaries in areas of your life, you will be sorry. So I would rather walk with God on this journey, trust Him to write my story and maintain this healthy boundary and not sacrifice it, because I know that all things work for the good of those who love the Lord. And it makes me feel different at sometimes. Not everything feels good, but it also makes me feel different in a good way because I know that I can stand by something. And I know that God and I have a stronger relationship because I made that vow to Him and He sees. And I promise you, like my mama said, girl, God got an invisible shield around you. No, she was like, there is an invisible shield around you. Nobody is messing over His girl. And so, thank you, God, for allowing me to hold that vow to you and allowing me to embrace that difference. That's all.
Amen to that.
In the words of Forrest Gump, that's all I'm going to say about it.
I feel like I need to put this over here now because this is literally your house in the way you want to draw it, but I'm just saying though.
And so this is social isolation schema, so you guys can kind of get a feel of some things that come up when you feel different, you feel like you're isolated, you feel like you're walking a path alone. But I also want you to pay attention to some of the things that I wrote and I kind of reframe that although this may make me feel different, different is not a bad thing. Different can be a good thing. Like some people might look at me like, girl, you single? You ain't got no kids? You can do what you want? All right. You don't check in on nobody. But sometimes that's how I feel. Like, okay, I ain't got to check in. I can do my own thing. But then sometimes I'm like, and I'm dramatic, so y'all don't take this seriously. I'm like, if I just pass out right here, who would know? But
Get your life alert.
that's what my cousin said. She said, we're gonna get you a life alert. But my mama will know, because she called me all throughout the day, and if I don't call her, she knows. She don't even live near me, but she knows like something up. INFJ, I love that about myself. One person off the top of my head that wasn't INFJ was Gandhi.
Okay.
And so when I think about viewing myself, I'm like, okay, I got the same personality type as Gandhi. I'm a leader. So that makes me feel good about myself. And I like my quirky personality. I've always kind of been quirky and different, and I've learned to embrace it. And learning that I'm an INFJ lets me pay attention to my social battery more, so even my friends know, like, yeah.
Are you going to include a link for people if they wanted to do their own personality
Oh
test?
yeah, I can include a link below so you guys can do your temperament test.
Yeah.
I sometimes do that with my clients, especially my ones who come in feeling like they are isolated or that they are different. I'm like, I can pick up on the INFJs too. I'm like, let's do this test because I bet you an INFJ. And then they end up being an INFJ. I know.
I'm attracting another 1 to 2%. Is that what you're doing?
I can just feel it. And it's always good, even in this column, ways that I belong. Like I had never really, I always knew that I grew up in church and church was like comfortable for me because I grew up there. But like doing this category specifically, I never realized that that is my safe space.
Mm-hmm.
Like even in a new place where I am different, I have more ways that I belong than ways that I was different.
Mm-hmm.
And clearly, obviously, work is my safe space too. Because, I mean, it was, even though my processing is slower and that I'm a minority, I quickly turned those into positives.
Mm-hmm.
So that lets me know that that's kind of my safe space too. Maybe that's why I work so much. That's a story for another day. Alright, you guys, we had fun with these activities and we tried to, be playful with the schemas, but schemas are very sensitive topics. If you related to any of these things today, please reach out to a licensed therapist that will help you unpack and navigate these schemas because they are not healthy things to have. Like if you feel like you're dwelling in a social isolation schema or subjugation schema, those are not healthy things to have. We want to be able to heal the schema so that we can travel light in life and reach our full potential. Again, I'm going to attach resources below, a link to that temperament test so that you can do your own temperament test if you're interested. But as always, take care with PCARE. I'm Rochelle, and this is Zandy.